Oh, hey folks, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're watching WGS-TV. Tough guy.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, and I know it's a couple of days late, but this is going to be my Raw review for the week of March 5th, 2012. We're going to open up with the segment with Shawn Michaels and Triple H wanting to, Shawn Michaels trying to inquire about, Triple H's reasoning behind, finally accepting the Undertaker's challenge and then upping the ante to Hell in the Cell. And let's just say it was a very interesting segment, and they pretty much used this segment, I believe, to make the announcement that Shawn Michaels was going to be the guest referee. And to be honest, I wasn't really surprised. The rumors going around that Shawn Michaels was going to be involved in the Hell in a Cell match, and at one point during the entire segment, we hear the crowd chanting triple threat, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. Shawn Michaels says he's done with wrestling. He's not going to be, an in-ring performer. But, I just kind of figured that in some way, in some facet, he was going to be involved, whether he's going to be a guest commentator or guest referee. I wasn't really certain for sure, but, now we know for sure that he's going to be the guest referee for the Hell in a Cell match between Triple H and The Undertaker. I really enjoyed the segment, but just because it was kind of predictable, because I kind of, figured out that, Shawn Michaels was going to be involved anyway in WrestleMania in some facet, in the Hell in a Cell match. I'm just going to give it a 4 out of 5. It was still a really good segment, but again, it was just really, really predictable the way it was going to go. Now, I want everybody to keep in mind that Teddy Long, if you haven't watched Raw, that Teddy Long was in charge of this week's Monday Night Raw due to the Board of Directors' decision. So the next match was for the United States title. It was Santino Marella and Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger, now part of the Vicky Guerrero stable, which has now known as American Perfection. Now, Dolph Ziggler was out there, and apparently then John Laurinaitis decided to come out, and David Otunga, and decided to try to tip the odds in Jack Swagger's favor in this United States title match against Santino Marella. Then Teddy Long came out with Kofi Kingston and Oksana to even up the odds here, and things kind of go gaga during the match. And then next thing you know, Santino Marella hits the Cobra on Dolph Ziggler, then rolls up Jack Swagger and gets the recount. And then John Laurinaitis, before the announcement could be made that Santino Marella was the United States champion, John Laurinaitis gets on the microphone, says that this isn't happening, this is my show. Teddy Long grabs the fourth, and they go back and forth, and Teddy Long calls security to escort Laurinaitis and Otunga out of the arena. Then they make the announcement that Santino Marella is now the United States champion. I thought it was a very entertaining match. I didn't really think they would have Swagger drop the title Santino in that fashion, in that facet, the way they did, since Santino was primarily on SmackDown. But since the way they used it here, I can only figure, that Swagger was going to want to ask for his return match next week. Well, if not next week on Raw, then probably on SmackDown, since Laurinaitis will be in charge on SmackDown. But I really thought, entertainment value-wise, it gets a 4 out of 5, because I thought it was very entertaining. Santino Marella is United States champion. I'm not opposed to it. But I want to see bigger things. I want to see him do bigger things. He's had some good runs as Intercontinental Champion, and I'm expecting something good out of Santino being the United States Champion. I just don't want him to be a transitional champion where he's going to hold it for 1 week and then he's going to drop it the next week to the person they really want it to have. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see them do that to him. So then we have the beginning of the Rock history lessons. I'm just going to sum up, all the history lessons, and, I'm just summarize, basically this. We finally got the Rock we know and love. We finally got the Rock from the Attitude Era. The Rock, the People's Champion. And I was really glad to see that he was funny, he was entertaining. You didn't have to write his promo notes on his wrist. So I thought it was really great to see that. My only gripe was, why didn't we have this Rock last week. Why didn't we have this Rock? Instead, last week we had Dwayne Johnson. This week we had The Rock, and I thought that was great. Last week, Dwayne Johnson sucked. This week, The Rock. Thumbs up. Then we have a match with Eve Torres and Alicia Fox. Flat out 2 out of 5. Was not impressed at all. They're really trying to push this thing between Kelly and Eve Torres, especially with Torres turning heel, rather, and we're probably going to be looking at a match with them at WrestleMania. Again, that's, I haven't read any spoilers or any match updates or anything like that. I'm just going on assumption here. I'm just going on assumption, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a confrontation and a match between Eve Torres and Kelly at WrestleMania. Then John Cena, we have a little segment with John Cena, talking about, his real feelings about, WrestleMania, very candid comments, about his involvement with The Rock at this WrestleMania and the way he feels about it, and Rock alludes a little bit to it in the last segment of the show, but when we get to that, that's when I'll start talking about it. But I thought it was a really great segment. It was good to see a realer side to John Cena, him with very candid comments towards WrestleMania and the way he feels about his opponent, The Rock. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really good. Then next up, we had a very good, very interesting tag team match. We had Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan taking on CM Punk and Sheamus. Really, really good match. Very impressed with all 4 guys. I was highly entertained. 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was phenomenal, fantastic. If their tag match, if this tag match was really fantastic, can you only imagine what their singles matches are going to be at WrestleMania? CM Punk and Jericho, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, they're going to be off the chart. If this tag match was kind of epic, can you imagine how epic their championship matches are going to be at WrestleMania? Next up, we have Big Show and The Miz. They really haven't done anything with it. I think the only thing they tried to do with it is have Cody Rhodes come out and try to embarrass and humiliate the Big Show again by taking us back to WrestleMania 19, where Big Show did not actually compete, but he was at WWE New York. And, he was trying to make fun of the fact that Big Show was, fired up, trying to get the crowd fired up by saying WrestleMania 19. Woo! And that's what they replayed over, WrestleMania 19. Woo! Woo! And they were trying to make fun of him for that, and I don't know, I think it just came off as a failure. Match, not really impressed, and then again, with Miz having so much backstage heat, if I can talk, I really didn't expect anything phenomenal out of this. So, 3 out of 5 at best. Then we have Kane and R-Truth. What I really loved about this was the promo R-Truth that they played while he was making his entrance. He was doing supposed to be making comments about Kane, and then he stops and saying, wait, who am I talking to? And I thought that was freaking hilarious. I was laughing. I'm like, we always see these guys making these promo comments to be playing on TV, and then R-Truth stops his comments and says, wait, who am I talking to? I thought that was very, very funny. But King beats R-Truth, and then Randy Orton comes out to return the favor from SmackDown. For those of you who didn't catch SmackDown, Kane, for some reason, attacked Randy Orton, and Randy Orton came out, returned the favor, RKO'd Kane, and as Kane welcomed him back on Friday Night SmackDown, Randy Orton says, it's good to be back. I am looking, from what I take from this, guys, what I see from this happening, I see a confrontation at WrestleMania between Kane and Randy Orton. Maybe it's just me, but that's what I see happening. So I think I'm going to do a combined score for the match and the segment that happened after it. 3.5 out of 5. But you could be looking at Kane and Randy Orton. It's possible. It's possible. Then the last thing was the John Cena Rock segment. Let me say this. John Cena didn't have to save any segment tonight, nor did The Rock. Well, Rock didn't save any segment last week because it was his segment last week was a miserable and a dismal failure. But this week it was a lot better. I said it on my video last week that we needed to really see them pick it up. And, we don't need to see the same thing over and over again. And they finally get the hint. They finally taken the clue, whether they saw the video or they responded to the fans. But they have finally got the message that we needed to go forward with Rock and John Cena and actually do good with it. And they did it tonight with Rock and Cena. They did it. I was very impressed. Very impressed with this segment and the way it came out with Rock and Cena, that I am actually really looking forward to what they do next week with the guys. Last week I didn't give a shit about Rock and Cena because of how dismal and how horrible last week's segment was with these two. Cena actually saved Rock's segment. This week they played off each other beautifully. Beautifully. I was really impressed with the way they were actually able to step it up. I am glad that we got Rock this week instead of Dwayne Johnson. If Dwayne Johnson was out there, he probably would have had notes probably up to his elbow on what to say to John Cena, where to look, what to call him, what to get trending on Twitter, yada, yada, yada. You get my freaking point. But 5 out of 5 on this whole segment. Again, really, really great. Very impressed. They did a great job. Finally moving forward. Didn't have to worry about anything trending on Twitter. Didn't have to worry about Kung Pao Chicken, Kung Pao Bitch, Fruity Pebbles. None of that. Didn't have to worry about any of that in that segment. We finally moved forward, taking a step forward instead of rehashing everything that was said last year between Rock and Cena. Beautiful job by the WWE. Beautiful job by Cena and Rock. Finally getting their act together and finally moving forward. And now they have finally captured my interest. Like I said already last week, could care less about Rock and Cena. This week, different story. Because of the way they did their promo on Monday Night Raw. So what I want to know now from you, the WGS-TV viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Be sure you leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite the video. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.